Today, I want to share with you how to start an online business if you're starting from zero. And by zero, I mean you don't have a website, you don't have a social media following, you don't have an audience, you don't have an email list. You're literally starting from square one. Ready? Let's do this. Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jim and I'm a lawyer turned YouTube entrepreneur. And on this channel, we share the practical tips and strategies that you can use to help you start, build, grow, and legally protect your online business so you can live a lifestyle filled with freedom of time, money, and location. And today we're talking about how to get started with your online business if you're starting from absolutely square one, zero. Now, if you're watching this video, chances are that you are either already have an online business and you're kind of wondering if there's some things you could do a little bit differently, or maybe you're just literally are starting from zero and you've got a job and maybe you've got a family and kids and you're busy and time is an issue and you just don't know what to do next. And so my question for you is, what would you do if all of a sudden you got laid off from your job, or you get in a big fight with your boss and you just decide, you know what, enough is enough and I just want to start my own creative enterprise online? What would you do? For many people, this is a scary thought, but this is the same situation that every successful entrepreneur has found themselves in at one point or another. And I will tell you from personal experience, at the beginning, it can be scary. If you fail, you run the risk that either you're going to have to go back to your old job, or maybe you're going to have to find a new job. And with that means your income is capped. And then you just don't have the freedom that you were pursuing by starting your business in the first place. So maybe you're just at your wit's end. And as you watch this, you're thinking, you know what? Now's the time. I'm ready to go. Start that creative enterprise. I'm ready to do it. Before I get into what I personally would do if I was starting over from scratch, I want to let you know there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube that talk about how to earn money online. But a lot of them are focused on different types of side gigs that you can take, freelance jobs, maybe, being a gig worker, doing different things like that, where you're still trading fundamentally your time for money. And what I'm talking about in today's video is I want to talk to you about how to lay the foundation to create a successful online business that will allow you to still earn money while you're sleeping. So if you're in a situation where you need some fast cash and you're looking how to make money online doing it, this is not the video for you. This video is going to assume that you have some level of savings in the bank, or maybe you're still working that 9-to-5 job, even though you don't want to be working that 9-to-5 job, you still have it, or maybe your spouse is working and they can support the family so that you have the freedom to take the time you need to build your business properly from the beginning. And to do that, it is going to take time. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So how do you do that? Well, there are 4 main areas that I'm going to cover in today's video. The first 2 steps that you need to take to build an online business, these are the foundational steps. This is where you're not actually earning any money, but you have to do these, and these can often take a long time so that you lay the proper foundation so that when you're ready to start offering products or services, you can do that profitably. And that's brainstorming and community building. And then once you've done that, you can move on to the 3rd and 4th steps, which are creating and selling your initial offer and scaling your business. So let's start with brainstorming. This is the basic minimum thing that you have to do if you're going to start an online business. Obviously, you need to know what is your business going to be about. And I recommend that you engage in some brainstorming. You can use a journal to do this. You can talk to your friends about what you might be good at. Maybe not your coworkers if you're thinking about leaving that job. Personal friends, family members who have a vested interest in seeing that you are succeeding. You can ask them what they think that you might be good at. Maybe they know, maybe they don't. I highly recommend you start in an activity of a daily journal. You can use a book like this, a moleskin like this, or you can create a journal on Notion, which is the way I do mine. I keep mine electronically. And as you're journaling, you want to start getting clear on what your skills are. You can take notes, you can brainstorm, create a lot of different ideas, and think about what are the things that you're really good at so that you can start to hone in on what that target market is going to be for your creative enterprise. And I do like to call it a creative enterprise because a lot of people think of online business as this way to flip products or sell physical products online or create apps or do other things like that that involve a lot of technology. And honestly, it just doesn't have to be that way. I believe that building a business is truly a creative enterprise. If I were to go back and do this over again, I would do exactly what I'm doing now. I'd be creating videos for YouTube. I'd be blogging. I would be writing about what I'm working on, different things like that. And so that kind of goes towards step 2 of the brainstorming phase, which is you really need to determine what it is that you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about what it is that you're getting into business with, then you're never going to be successful. And the likelihood that you're going to pivot at some point is just going to go through the roof. So you really want to focus on something that you're good at and something that you're also very passionate about and something that you think maybe intuitively, although you're not sure, there might be a market for your services. And I can't stress this enough. If you are not passionate about your idea, if it's not something that really fires you up, that you really enjoy, you probably are not going to be very good at it in terms of an online business. I can tell you from personal experience, I've tried things that I wasn't passionate about. And yeah, it worked for a little while, but in the end, I did fail. So I don't want you to make that mistake. So the next thing you want to do, you want to move into phase 2, and that's community building. And really, this is the testing in real life phase. So this is the opportunity for you to go out and start talking online about what it is that you're thinking about doing. Now, this might be a little tricky if you're working a job because you don't want people to necessarily know who you are, but you could use a pseudonym or you could write under an alias. You're going to start to create an online persona of who you are, and you're going to start to build an audience around what you're doing. Now, there are a bunch of different ways that you can do this. One of the easiest ways to start is to join a community where there's already a bunch of people that are interested in your topic. You can do this on Facebook, you can do this on Twitter, and you can start looking for other people who are interested in what it is that you are going to be building your online business around. Another great way to do this is on Reddit. I'm not a huge fan of Reddit, but I know that a lot of people do use it, and if you know how to use the platform properly, maybe I don't know how to use the platform properly, but if you know how to use the platform properly and you provide a lot of value in what it is that you're posting on Reddit, that's a great way to get a lot of good information to determine whether or not the creative endeavor that you're looking to start is actually going to have any traction. So as you're posting in these communities, you're going to start by just reading. You're going to be reading what other people are talking about and figuring out if there's ways that you can contribute to the conversation. You then might start commenting and trying to help people and answer their questions. Now, mind you, at this point, it's all about creating value for the people in that community. You're not trying to sell your services. You're not trying to get people on your email list. You're not trying to do anything like that. You're just trying to provide value to the people in that space. Now, once you've done that, then you can start the process of actually creating actual content that you're going to want to post in that community as well. Again, the goal here, not to try and get people to join your email list. It's not to try and drive people back to your website. It's to try and just provide value. And what's going to happen is organically, people are going to start to follow you because they're going to perceive you as a person of value. And when they start to perceive you as a person of value, you're going to be someone who's going to be sought after, and they're going to be looking to you for advice and guidance. Over time, people are going to start to refer back to your materials as things that people should be looking at and consuming to get answers to their questions. The best way to do this is to target the people who are in this space that you want to be in. I'll give a great example of this. I'm in the process of moving to Portugal. I am in several Facebook groups that talk about what to do when you're moving to Portugal. At the very beginning, I was reading a lot, learning a lot about the process, about what you need to do for your visa, and then slowly, I started to answer people's questions in that group and hopefully be a valuable resource to them, because if somebody asked a question, I knew the answer to it, I would post. Finally, now what I'm doing now is I'm posting about my journey of moving to Portugal. Now, again, my goal here is not to necessarily build a business around moving to Portugal, but at some point, if I decided I did want to do that, the option is available to me because I'm starting to be involved in this community of people who are also interested in moving to Portugal. It's really important that you remain consistent and you do something every single day. So read, get involved, comment, post, write about the topic that you're interested in. I would encourage you to write every single day and be posting that in online forums. And try and get as many posts out there as possible. I did a video last week about using the law of 100 and getting 100 posts out as quickly as possible. So you might want to go and check that out. Once you've done that, you can start to review and analyze. The nice thing about posting in a forum like Twitter is there's really rapid feedback loops about doing that. So I've been posting pretty regularly in Twitter for about a week and a half now, and I can already see in my Twitter analytics which posts do well and which posts don't. And that happened pretty quick. So you can go and post in a forum like that and start to see the analytics to see what people resonate with and what things people do not resonate with. And as you move forward, you'll want to write about more of the things that people resonate with and less of the things that people don't. As you're doing this, you're probably going to want to start to build some social media profiles of your own and maybe start to build a website of your own. Again, we're not offering anything for sale at this point. We're just providing value. A great strategy that I use is to create a video like this, turn that video into a blog post, and then turn that blog post into a tweet thread that I can post on Twitter. And that's a great strategy to repurpose your content on multiple platforms so you can actually reach more people. And then the final thing I'll say on that is that you do want to start creating an email list. You're going to put an email sign up on your website, or you can put it on your Twitter profile or your Facebook profile or wherever. Again, making sure that you keep in mind that if you're still working a job and you don't want your other people at work to find out about it, you might want to be somewhat stealthy about this. And then once people start signing up for your email list, you can email them, once or twice a week with a weekly tip sheet or what you're working on or different things like that so people can follow you along with your journey. All right, I need a sip of tea. Still a little under the weather here, so we're going with the tea. Got my Pura Vida mug. Love it. All right. So now we're ready to move into the third stage of business development, and that's actually creating an offer. There's really a couple ways that you can do this. You can either create a PDF and offer it for sale on like a Gumroad. That's a great way to do it. That's actually how I started my first digital product I sold on Gumroad. I'll include a link to this down in the description below. And that's probably the low-hanging fruit that you can do, is create a really simple offer and put it out there on Gumroad, and then link to it through your social media posts, or put a description in your videos like I do with my YouTube channel, or tweet about it every once in a while. Different things like that are a great way to get your products out there. Before you even do that, you want to start paying attention to the questions that people are answering. And what you're going to find as you're engaging in these communities is that people are asking the same questions over and over and over again. And so you're going to start to be able to outline the questions that people have so that you can create a product that revolves around answers to those questions. After you have a group of 10, 15, 20 questions that people ask over and over and over again, I would create an online workshop where you're going to go in depth on each of those issues. And so I've done this through the YouTube channel. A couple weeks ago, I did this, and it was a great success to do a 3 or 4 hour legal workshop where we talked about the different legal issues that people face when they're starting their online business. Again, I'll include a link down below. You can get the replay of that if you would like. And the nice thing about doing that is when you're just getting started, even if nobody shows up, you still hold the workshop and you still prepare like people are going to show up. Now, it's possible you might get one person or you might get 5 people, and that's okay, because what's going to happen is you're going to do that workshop, you're going to record the workshop, and now all of a sudden you have a product that you can sell on Evergreen. If you don't have a website yet, you can create a landing page on card.io. I'll include a link down below. For $19, you can set up a landing page, and then what you can do is you can add a link through Stripe or PayPal so that somebody can pay you to attend that workshop. And then you have all the workshop information on that landing page, or you can email people after they sign up for the workshop. And then what you can do is you can use the link from that landing page, and you can put that on your social media profiles. You want to DM people and let them know that you're doing a workshop and this might be something they're interested in. If you're in a Facebook group, maybe the administrator person for that Facebook group is willing to promote your workshop for you. Maybe you could do some sort of revenue share if that's something they'd be interested in doing. So there's lots of different ways that you can get the word out about this workshop, but that's the next thing that I would do is I would hold a workshop. And if you get nobody that shows up, then that just tells you that maybe either A, your list wasn't big enough, B, you didn't do enough advertising, or C, it just wasn't a good idea that people are going to pay for. So maybe you tweak the offer a little bit and then you try to do it again. What I would do from there is about once a month or so, I would hold another workshop. And so I would do it once and then maybe come up with a different idea for another workshop or change the title around or something like that and do another live workshop. And then for 3 or 4 months, I might host 3 or 4 different workshops, and hopefully each time I get a few more people into those workshops. And then at the end of that time, you're about ready to move to level 4. And level 4 is that you actually want to scale that idea. You can turn those 3 or 4 workshops that you've done, you can break up the information in each of those workshops and turn it into a course. And so now what you're going to do is after you finish those workshops, you can put a wait list on your website where people can sign up to get on the wait list because you're going to be launching a course. Now, courses are hard to set up if you're doing it just from scratch, but if you've already got the material in the form of these workshops, then you can go ahead and you can create the course using the material from those workshops, which makes it a lot easier because you don't have to re-record everything and you've already got all the materials, you've got the slide presentations, maybe you prepared handouts for the workshops. Again, all these things are going to add more value to what it is that you're doing with your offering. And from there, it's just a matter of getting as many eyeballs as you can on that offer to see, what's resonating, what's not. And if people start buying it, then you can scale this and do more with it. All this time, you're still contributing to those communities. You're still adding value. You're still building your audience online through, like I said, Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or whatever it is you're doing. You're building more traffic to your website because you're still creating content on a regular basis. By adding more pages to your website and more blog posts, it's just naturally going to increase your relevancy in the search rankings, and also you're going to get more eyeballs on what it is you're doing with your blog. And then as you go through that process, you can just reopen your course. Maybe you launch your course once a quarter and maybe you do some mini workshops in between. There's all sorts of things you can do from there, and there's all sorts of options available to you. And as you go through this process, you're going to start to experience little wins. They're going to keep moving you forward. So every time you experience a win, you have a successful launch, you get a lot of people sign up for your workshop, it's just going to give you that much more drive to continue moving forward and doing the next workshop and doing the next course launch. Because with each of these wins, you're just going to gain more confidence in yourself. And one day, what's going to happen is you're going to wake up and you're going to realize that you're making just as much money from your side hustle as maybe you were making at your job. And then you hit your, what I like to call, Independence Day. Because now you can make the decision, do I stay at my job that I don't like anymore, or do I move forward with this online venture that I'm doing part-time and I'm now making as much money as I'm making at that job? Would I quit my job right away at that point? Probably not. I probably would want to make sure that my online business was sustainable for the next 3 to 6 months. But once I know that my online business is doing well, or maybe I'm taking the money from that online business and banking it so I have a 6-month slush fund or runway to keep me going, then I might be looking at whether or not I can declare my independence from my 9-to-5 job. So if you liked this video and you'd like to learn more about how to build an online business, I created a playlist right here that contains some of my most popular videos on how to build an online business. Check that out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching, folks.